Colonel, before I start with my questions, let's just clarify your experience and qualifications. You testified about your experience, and if I took my notes correctly, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. You are more than 30 years, you have more than 30 years experience, am I correct?
Yes, my lord.
Maybe to be precise, how many years of experience?
36 years.
36.
36.
And in the service or in the experience of 36 years, working experience in the SAPS, we have only dealt with 4 pointing out. Am I correct?
Yes, my lord.
36, I'm pointing out and going to the 4.
Including this one that you are dealing with.
My lord, this one is number 5.
Number 5.
Then I get a yes plan.
Okay. Before you were employed in the SAPS, or during the period when you were employed by the SAPS, did you attend any qualifications?
Is it external qualifications or internal?
And it can be external, it can be internal, any qualifications.
I attended
if there is any
courses within the SAPS, which is on investigations mostly.
Ngenzeke ama courses ngaphakathi ke emaphoyiseni agcwele kakhulu ke noma ke amayela ke nophenya.
Okay. Other than internal courses, there is no qualification from any qualified academic institution.
No, my lord.
Ngaphandle kwalawo ma courses ke awekho ayikho ke la engeke ngathi ke khona ke kwi noma ke ngathi ke university la ngithole amanye khona ke ama qualifications.
Okay. And I also take it for granted that when you were employed by experience under the detective unit.
Yes, my lord. I've worked in the detective environment all my service.
Ukuthi ke sonke ke isikhathi lesi ngisebenza ke emaphoyiseni ngisebenza ke kule hlangothi ke noma labaphenyi noma lama detectives abasearch.
Okay, thank you. You testified, Mr. Hadebe, that you were called by Colonel Gininda.
That's true, my lord.
Shiloko ukuthi umuntu wangicela ke noma wangishayela ucingo uColonel Gininda.
And what did he say to you when he called you?
He asked me if I can assist him with a pointing out on one of his cases.
Wangicela noma wangibuza ukuthi ngamsilekelela ngamsiza yini pointing out kwelinye lamacala akhe.
Okay. Wherein he was the investigating officer.
That's true, man.
La khona ke kwakuyena owayephenya.
The person,
uyena owayenolwazi ke mayelana necala.
And you were not requested by an independent person who did not have any knowledge about this case. Am I correct?
That's true, my lord.
Angicelanga umuntu ke owesecelwa ngaphandle ke owayengenalo ulwazi mayelana necase.
And in the absence of the conversation between yourself and Colonel Gininda in this form, we do not know what Gininda said to you when he was asking you to conduct the pointing out.
That's true, my lord.
Beqiniso ke ukuthi lokho ke ngakhulunywa ke yimina noGininda kuba ke kungekho lana anikwazi ke ukuthi yini kahle kahle esakhuluma ngayo.
Okay. You testified that when you arrived at the station, you booked out the suspect, which is Mr. Sibiya. Am I correct?
Yes, my lord.
Shiloko ukuthi bangifika lapho ngaye ngamkhipha ke kuma cell uSibiya.
Can you tell me the process and the procedure of booking out a suspect by a peace officer who is coming to take down the statement at the station? Besides including the police who refused and did what, but what is the procedure?
My lord, The procedure is the person will be brought to my office or an office that I had requested to use, and I will then start with the interview. He will be, somebody will sign for him, bring him to my office.
Inqubo ke uma uzothatha ke umuntu ukuthi uzolethwa ke kumina kuleyo office engizobe ngiyicelile ke kunomuntu ozomsayindela amletheke bese ngiyaqala ke mina naye.
And is it correct that immediately when you arrive you'll go to the CSC, to the people who are in control of the custody of that inmate?
That's true, my lord.
Ukuthi uma ufika ke uyakhona ke la avalelwe noma agcinwe khona ke.
And it will not be your duty to go and book out the suspect. You'll go to the office or to the place wherein you'll be taking down the statement. And the duty to book out the suspect is the duty of the members who are in control of that person. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Nokuthi ke akusona ke okwami ukuthi ngihambe mina ngiyomkhipha kwami ukuthi ngiye kulelo office engilinikiwe bona ke bazomletha.
And in this case that never happened. Am I correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Nokuthi lana ke akwenzekanga lokho.
Okay. That's number one. Okay. Number two, when you decided to go to the cells, you told this court that you found the members of EMPD. What is that?
Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department.
Ngathola ke be EMPD Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department.
Okay, because I'm not familiar with this EMPD, can you just use Metro Police? Is that fine?
It's fine.
It's fine. Okay. What were these Metro Police doing in the cells?
They were just standing there, my lord. Hence I said they were guarding him.
Babemile nje lapho ke labo be Metro Police ingakho ngishilo ukuthi babegadileke noma
Guarding
bebhekile.
who? They were guarding who?
Guarding Mr. Sibi.
Babegade noma bebheke yena Mr Sibiya.
Only? Or all the suspects who were in custody at that time?
He was the only one in that holding cell.
Kwakuyena kuphela ke kuleso sele leso.
Okay. Okay. Let's now talk. Let's now explain this. The accused is in detention, is under the custody of the SAPS.
That's
correct?
true, my lord.
Above being in custody of the SAPS, on top of that, there were extra members of the Metro Police who were guarding him as well.
That's true, my lord.
Yebo ke kunjalo ukuthi waye ngaphansi kwamaphoyisa kodwa ngaphezulu kwalokho ke khona ke ne Metro Police.
And above that, he was handcuffed. Am I correct?
That's true, my lord.
Nokuthi ke wayifakwe nozankosi.
Okay. Do you agree with me that on its own, the mere presence of the Metro Police guarding him whilst in the police cells posed a threat to him?
I don't agree, my lord.
Okay. No, it's
Angivumi
fine.
ke ukuthi lokho nje kwaku nokuthi kuna Metro Police ukuthi kwaku ukumsabisa.
Okay. Do you also agree with me that when you booked out the accused from the cells, he had no choice? Did you ask him? Did you ask his consent to take him out from the cells, or you just instructed him?
I requested him to come with me.
Okay.
Ngamcela ukuthi eze noma ahambe nami.
Did he agree?
Yes.
Wavuma.
Okay. And where did you record that? That you requested the permission from the accused to book him out so that you can go to the office.
Nowhere in my statement.
Akubhalwanga lokho ku statement sami.
In your pocketbook, you had your pocketbook on that particular day.
I don't use a pocketbook.
Angiyisebenzisi pocketbook.
Are you exempted?
Yes.
Put that in any diary of yours?
Yo ke diary kodwa ngikhumbule ngikubhala ke
That you asked the accused for the permission to take him out from the custody, and he gave you permission, consent to that.
Yes, I did not record it.
leko angizange ngikubhala ukuthi ngamcela wasenginikeza
You
imvume.
did not record that because you did not ask him consent.
I don't think that is the case, my lord. If you say to someone, "Ngicela siye kule office," and he agrees, he comes with you, I think that's a request, and he agrees. If it wasn't, he would have refused, which maybe he would now be making allegations that I forced him.
Yeah,
Angicabangi-ke ukuthi kukanjalo ngoba-ke uma ngabe ucela umuntu uthi let's go to the other office and the person agrees, lokho-ke kusho-ke ukuthi-ke umcelile. Uma kwakuwukuthi-ke wayenqabile-ke lokho-ke kwakuzoba ukumphoqa-ke manje.
yes. I'm asking this question because we are dealing with the issue of voluntariness here. If the accused voluntarily submitted yourself to you to go to that office in the first place,
Yes,
and there is nowhere wherein he gave consent to you,
that's true.
Akukho-ke lana-ke ukuthi impela wavuma-ke, akubhaliwe phansi.
okay. Thank you. Let's move on. Before you book him out, or before you took him out of the holding cells where accused number 1 was, did you tell him the purpose of booking him out?
We discussed the purpose after we were sitting in the office.
Inhloso-ke yokuthi ngimkhiphe laphayana sazokhuluma ngayo uma sesihlezi phansi-ke e-office.
Okay. What did you say to him?
I informed him that as I identified myself, I first asked his names, his address, and I then identified myself through my appointment certificate and informed him of the purpose that I'm there.
Ngambuza-ke imininingwane yakhe nala ahlala khona, ngase-ke nami ngiyayichaza-ke futhi-ke ngamtshengisa-ke i-certificate sami somsebenzi, ngase ngimtshela-ke nenhloso ukuthi ngibe lapha.
Let's unpack the purpose. What did you explain to him?
I explained that I came to take a statement as he had arranged with the investigating officer.
Ngamtshela-ke ukuthi ngizileke ukuthi ngizothatha istatement nanjengoba yena-ke bese bekhulumisene-ke nomseshi noma umphenyi wecala.
Okay. Do you know the constitutional rights in terms of section 35 of the Constitution, which says the accused or detained person must be informed of the allegations against him?
Yes, my lord.
Ngiyamazi-ke section 35 la asho khona-ke ukuthi kufanele aziswe namatshelwe-ke ngey'nsolo azithweswayo.
Did you explain to the accused the allegations against him at that particular time?
I don't see how someone who's been requested to conduct a pointing out can explain the allegations against the accused if he does not form part of the investigative team.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, my lord. Can I rephrase, my lord? And furthermore, in your form, you said, I think it's on page 2 or paragraph 3, but the second page. The said was asked. I don't know what the said is. I thought it was the allegations. The said was asked whether was informed of the reason of his or her arrest as prescribed by section 35 of Act 108 of 1996. It's on the second page, my lord. It's written, it starts with paragraph 3. Second page of the pro forma, the first line, my lord, at the top. The said was asked whether he was informed of the reason for his or her arrest as prescribed by section 35 of Act 108 of section of Act 1996. Hence, I'm asking if you explained the allegations against the accused in terms of what is contained in this pro forma.
Hence, my lord, I wrote his response that he was informed.
Ingakho-ke la ngibhale impendulo yakhe ngoba umbuzo uthi-ke wase ebuzwa-ke ukuthi uyatshelwa yini mayelana nesizathu sokuboshwa kwakhe nanjengokusho kwakhe ku-section 35. Yingakho-ke ngabhala impendulo lokhu angitshela kona mina.
Yeah, what is it that was explained to him? That's what I want to know. Because the form says the said was explained. What is it that you explained? Was it the allegations? What is it that you explained? Because the duty was for him to be explained of his allegations if we're talking about the constitutional rights in terms of Section 35?
The rights, according to me, were explained during the arrest. He was informed during the arrest. And when he decided to do a pointing out, he was informed also.
Okay.
Hence, my answer here is yes, I was informed.
Lana ke ama rights enkhuluma noma ke amalungelo enkhuluma ngawo ukuthi inkathi ke eboshwa etshelwa ke ngamalungelo akheke nokuthi uboshelweniki ingakho ke futhi nangesikhathi ke sithatha isinqumo sokuthi uzokwenza pointing out wasetshelwa futhi ingakho la ngabhala impendulo yakhe.
Okay, let's forget about the arrest because you were not involved, am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, let's stick to this form. I want the explanation, I want to understand this sentence which says the said was asked whether she was informed of the reasons. You understand that sentence?
It also continues going down,
Okay.
where it says the said person is informed, now he gets informed by me, of his rights.
Futhi ke le sentence isiyaqhubeka ke manje ayipheli lapho ke ufunda khona ukuthi manje ke umuntu lona usetshelwa yimina ke ngamalungelo akhe.
Okay. So, in other words, do we agree that you never informed the accused of the allegations against him? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Ukuthi insolo wayebhekene nazo ziyini mina angizange ngimtshele.
And the response that the accused gave was that, yes, I was informed, I was arrested for drug dealing.
Yes.
Waphendula ke wathi yebo ngatshelwa ngaboshelwa ke idakamizwa.
So it means the accused, when you were busy with him at this time, when you were doing this interview, he was under the impression that he was dealing with the arrest of dealing with drugs.
No.
Okay.
He was informed of his arrest. But he was in custody on a drug dealing case.
Watshelwa ke ngezathu
Hence I said slash I was arrested for a drug dealing.
Colonel, let's speak like Colonel now. There's
Yes.
a difference between allegations and arrest. Those are two different things. I'm not
Initially-
asking about arrest, I'm asking about the allegations.
Okay.
I'm saying now, since the accused gave this answer, he's saying, I was arrested for drug dealing. It means the accused understood the allegations against him to be that of drug dealing. Am I correct?
No.
Akusikuthi ke yena ke wayecabanga ukuthi ke yena ke uboshelwe noma ke insolo ilezi ke iphathelene nedakamizwa.
You can tell me. That's why I wanted it to come from you. That's why I started by explaining, by asking from you, what is it exactly that was explained to him before he responded to this? Because there is no way that
can we read this?
you can read
said
it.
person?
No problem. You can read it, Kenneth.
The said person was asked whether he was informed of the reasons for his arrest
Yes.
as prescribed in section 35.
Yes. And the answer was
So
yes.
his arrest,
Okay. Yes.
yes, I was informed of my arrest.
Yes.
I am also in custody on a drug dealing case.
Yes.
Yes.
Lana ke uma ifunda lena ke ithi use ebuzwa ke noma wasebuzwa ke ukuthi watshelwa yini ukuthi uboshelweni noma izathu wathi yebo ngatshelwa waseqhubeka futhi ke ukuthi ngiboshiwe futhi noma ke ngivalelwe futhi ngivalelwe icala lezidakamizwa.
Yes. So that's why, hence I'm saying that from this response that was given by the accused, it means he was under the impression, he knew that he was under the arrest for this drug dealing. He never said, I'm under the arrest of murder, I'm under the arrest of pointing. I just said, yes, I know the reason. I'm under the arrest of drug dealing.
The arrest of drug dealing was at secondary, my lord.
Okay.
Yes.
Did at any stage tell you that he was under the arrest of murder?
No,
Akaze angitsheleke ukuthi waboshelwa.
So why do you say this is secondary?
because of the answer he gave.
Ukuthi ke ngithi ke lena yezidakamizwa impendulo yesibili ngoba ngenxa yempendulo ayinikeza.
Let's leave it for argument. Did you understand this form on your own? You
Yes.
person? Okay. Let's see if you and how far you understood. Let's go further. The third person was informed of the right to remain silent. You see that right?
Yes.
Ngiyabona la chaza khona ukuthi wasetshelwa ngelungelo lokuthula.
Yes. What did you say to the accused?
I read it as it is to him.
Yeah, what
Ngayifunda
did you
kuyena
say?
ngale
You
ndlela ke.
interpreted. I need the interpretation that you said.
Unelungelo lokuthula.
Yes.
You've got the right to remain silent.
What did the accused say?
I continued. I read. I did not go one per answer. I continued with all the rights, and he gave an answer.
I then mina ke engakwenzako ayi ukuthi ngafunda ilungelo elilodwa ngaqhubeka ngawo onke wasike egcinene enikeza ngempendulo.
When you explain to the accused, this is a constitutional right, Kenan.
Yes.
When you said to a person, you are being informed of the right to remain silent, and you should have expected to get a response from the accused, whether he elects to remain silent or he elects to not to remain silent. Am I correct?
Maybe that is your interpretation.
Mhlambe ke indlela wena ke izwa ngayo le ukuthi uma ngithi ke nelungelo lokuthula kufanele ngimeke ngimlindeleke ukuthi anginikeze impendulo.
Okay, let me put it like this. In paragraph 1, when you inform the accused of the right to remain silent, there is no election which came from the accused recorded under paragraph 1.
That's true. As I said, I continued with all the rights.
Don't rush.
Ke ngaqhubeka ke ngawo onke amalungelo ngoba ke akukho akukhethileke ukuthi manje ngikhethe ukuthi ngithi.
There is no election. Let's go to number 2.
Yes.
He was informed that he has the right to remain silent and of the consequences if he does not remain silent.
Yes.
Wasetshelwa ke ukuthi futhi unelungelo ke lokuthula ke noma uma kuukuthi ke ukhetha ukuthi angathuli nemiphumela ke yalokho.
What was the election or response of the accused when you explain that right? It's a second right now.
The response is written down at the end of whether he understands.
Impendulo ke iyakhe ukuthi wathini ke ibhalwe ke egcineni ke ukuthi ngabe uyezwa yini.
And this right that you read to the accused, which is contained in paragraph 2, is incomplete, it's vague, and does not make sense. Why I'm saying that? It's because it should have said this from the Constitution. He was informed that he has the right to remain silent and of the consequences of making an admission or confession or pointing out. In other words, when you were explaining this right to the accused, you ought to have explained to him that he has the right to remain silent and of the consequences of making a pointing out. Not to say if he does not remain silent. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. Do you see that right is vague? It does not precisely speak to the consequences of making a pointing out. To say you must know of the consequences of making a pointing out. It just says if he does not remain silent.
Yes.
As a
Yes.
please, my lord, I'm sorry. Whole document, for instance, if one looks at paragraph 4, it just sets out precisely what the consequences of making a pointing out is, my lord.
Thank you, my lord. Should I proceed, my lord?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. I see what the stage is coming to paragraph 4. But before we go to paragraph 4, we cannot jump paragraph 3 because you explained paragraph 3 to the accused. You did not jump paragraph 3. You explained and interpreted paragraph 3. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
Paragraph 3 ke naye ke ngimdlulanga ngamchazela ke umsola ngayo paragraph 3 noma lokho okulaphayana.
And you did not inform the accused that you are explaining these rights briefly because at a later stage you will be explaining them. Am I correct?
No.
Yes.
Nokuthi ke angimchazela ngithi yabona lana ngichazela kafushane ke ngisezowachaza ke kahle ke lama rights mase siqhubeka.
Okay. So my submission, or what I'm saying to you, is that he was not informed exactly of the consequences. That's what I'm putting to you.
My lord, my answer is I informed him.
Mina ke ngamtshela ke ngayo imiphumela nanjengoba uthi lana wena ke akazange achazele ngemiphumela ukuthi kuzokwenzekani.
Okay. Let's go to the third paragraph. He was also warned that he was not obliged to make any confession or admission that might be later be used against him. Where?
In court.
Lana ke kubhaliwe ukuthi wasexwayiswa ke ukuthi akaphoqelekile ukuthi ke avumeke nokuthi ke futhi lokho ke kungathi kusetshenziswa ke kamuva.
Did you say to him in court that you must know that if you choose to make a pointing out now, that pointing out might be used against you later in court, as we are explaining to now, because it's not here.
Yes, it is not here.
Okay. Is the accused?
Yes, the word court was not mentioned.
Okay.
Igama ke lithi inkantolo lona ke alizange lifakweke.
Okay. Number 4, he
So,
was.
my lord, you know, once again, we coming back to the same point. One cannot see these things in isolation. This fact is once again explained in paragraph 4 that whatever he points out might be as paragraph 3, as counsel is saying, and then ignore. It's about the totality of the explanation that was given to the accused, my lord.
My lord, I think counsel can raise that when we are making submissions, my lord. But I think for the purpose of cross-examination, I'm entitled to cross-examine on the content, my lord, of paragraph 3.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Thank you.
And even Mr. Valoy is also entitled to intervene if he thinks it's justifiable. Like he says, this document, you read it holistically.
Yes, yes.
And he says you don't have to take sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph. It's a holistic document which encapsulates all the rights according to...
Which I disagree with that.
No, wait. According to the state, which were supposedly told to the accused, Mr. Sibiya.
Thank you, my lord. And which I beg to differ, my lord, because what I'm trying to establish is what was in the mind of the accused as you were going down with the interview. What was explained to the accused as you were going down with the interview, whether it was explained properly or not. Those are my submissions. Let's move on to paragraph 4. You see paragraph 4?
Yes.
It says he was also warned that he has the right to consult with a legal representative of his or her choice, and if he cannot afford the services of such a legal representative can be appointed by the state. This is a right to legal representation.
Yes.
Lana ke ilungelo eliphathelene nommeli ethi wasexwayiswa ke ukuthi unelungelo lokuthi akhulumisane ke nommeli oqoke noma okhethwe uyena uma kuukuthi ke angeke akwazi ukuthi amkhokhele loyo mmeli leyo umbuso ke ungamsiza ke noma umlekeleleke ukuthi athole ummeli.
If this right was explained to the accused, what was his election? To proceed on his own to appoint a legal representative appointed by the state, or to get a lawyer of his own choice?
My lord, this
comes with
election
3 choices.
is mentioned on just after paragraph 5.
Ukuthi wakhetha ukuthini ke lokho ke kubekiwe noma kuchaziwe ke emuva nje noma ngezansi nje ko paragraph 5.
Yeah. It says, do you understand the warning I have given to you? It says, yes, I understand. Are you referring to that?
Yes.
Yes. It does not tell the choice that was made by the accused, whether he wanted to conduct his own defense.
As you go down, it will show you that he still wants to confess.
Uma uhla ke lapha uya enzansi lapho izokuba inkomba ke kuwena ke ukuthi kwakuye isifiso sakhe sokuthi aqhubeke.
Colonel, listen to you. Well, this paragraph 4 has got 3 choices. It says you've got the right to be legally represented. Which choice or which election of right was chosen by the accused? To proceed himself in his own defense as you were proceeding with pointing out, or he asked you that no, I need a lawyer of my choice, or he said I want the state lawyer to be appointed on my behalf?
My lord, the answer is holistic. He gave one answer to all those rights that were explained to him. He did not give them one as counsel is asking.
ngale ndlela ke ummeli abuza ngayo yena ke akazange aphendule ngayo wanikeza ke ngempendulo eyodwa ehlanganisa ke konke lokhu awayekubuzwa noma ekutshelwa.
And it shows that this right was not explained to the accused. Because even now we are failing to understand the content of this right. The answer you are referring to, it says, yes, I understand. I understand what? Because it's supposed to indicate whether he wishes to conduct his own defense or he wishes an attorney to be appointed on his behalf. I understand what?
My right.
Amalungelo am ngiyawezwa.
The reason why you wrote this answer, it's because it never came from the accused.
It did, my lord.
Ngibhale ngoba yayiphuma kuyena ke lempendulo.
And I am saying to you, the constitutional rights of the accused, as I have unpacked them to you, were not properly explained to him in the manner that he understood his rights and his choices that he had at that time before you continued.
I'm convinced that he understood all of those rights.
Mina ke ngizothi ke amalungelo lawo wawezwa noma wawazwisisa onke futhi.
Unfortunately, the form does not contain those rights, but let's proceed. To paragraph 4, the said person is informed that he is in the presence of the justice. Okay? She is warned, is not compelled to point out any and or point any sin or to say anything about the sin. The said person is further warned that she may point out or may say will be noted down. What is that? Can you read it for me?
The said person is further warned that what he may point out or say will be noted down, and photographs of the scene and or points pointed out will be taken and may later be used as evidence during a subsequent trial.
Wase etshelwa ke ukuthi ke manje ke ungaphambi ke kwalo ubizwa ukuthi justice of the peace futhi ke uyiphoyisa nokuthi ke wase exwayiswa ke ukuthi akaphoqelekile ukuthi akhombe lutho noma nayiphi indawo noma ama points nokuthi asho lutho amayela namasini noma indawo yegameko. Wase futhi exwayiswa ke nokuthi lokho angathi akukhombe noma akusho kuzobhalwa phansi kuthwetshulwe izithombe zakho noma zalezo indawo lezo noma ama points bese futhi ke kubhalwa phansi futhi kamuva ke kungasetshenziswa uma sekuqulwa icala.
And then you say the said person is further warned that what he may point out or may say will be noted down. Did you note down what was pointed out by the accused?
Yes.
Lokho awakhomba ngakubhala phansi.
Okay. In the proforma that I'm using, I do not see.
Sorry, ma'am, that is done afterwards. Sergeant, sorry, Kenneth, is that not so?
That's true, my lord.
Yes,
Hence there
go
is a
through the
statement
proforma
attached.
first, and thereafter what he points out. Not when you're sitting in the office, he can't point out anything. Okay, that's how I understand it.
Okay. As the court pleases, fine, my lord. It's fine, but I don't see it in this form, but let's continue with that. You testified that the accused is the one who gave...
Page 5, paragraph 12.
No, it's not what I'm asking.
I don't have page 5 here. Mr. Malui, do you have page 5 and page 6 for me? I've got 1, 3, 7.
I don't know where this is.
11. Okay, you'll replenish.
11, it's paragraph, is page 5.
That's all. Okay, let's see. You say page 11, paragraph 5, I see.
Yes, it's got the details of the driver,
Yes.
and just below there, there's paragraph 12.
Okay. Where it says after conclusion of pointing out. I see. Okay, fine. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but it's not what I was asking, my lord. Does not answer my question, what the council is referring to. Right. Paragraph, my lord, if I can just read it. The paragraph that the State Council is referring to, it says, after conclusion of the pointing out at the scenes and points, the notes are read to the person who pointed out and they are interpreted once again. It does not address my question.
Yeah, pose the question.
Yes, thank you. You testified, or you testified that you did not record the directions given. Do you remember that?
ngishilo-ke ukuthi ama-directions ayinikeza ngawo-ke ukuya kuleyo ndawo awabhaliwe phansi.
And the directions, if there were any given by the accused, ought to have been recorded in this form. Am I correct?
Where in this form?
You could have used any page to record and attach it here. Because this is not a prescribed form, it's just a pro forma form where you can attach any documents just to give evidence of what transpired as the pointing out was conducted.
My lord, I gave evidence that he directed the driver and requested that at the entrance of Fosloras, which is an area that I don't know, he must be taken to.
And we don't see.
Nginikeze ubufakazi lana-ke ngathi yena-ke wachazela-ke umshayeli ukuthi akahambe kanjani bese kuthi-ke uma sekungenwa-ke noma kwi-entrance yase-Phosphorus kuyindawo mina-ke engazani nayo noma engayazi.
And what you are telling the court right now is also not contained here.
It is in my statement.
Kukhona lokho ku-statement sami.
In the pro forma, is it there?
No.
Okay.
Akukho ku-performa kukhona ku-statement sami.
Okay, it's fine. And the reason why the directions, if there were any given by the accused, to say turn left, go this way, stop here, is not contained here because it's because the accused never gave you any directions. You drove on your own to where you wanted to.
As a good policeman, not
He didn't drive. He says there was a driver.
yes.
He says there was a driver.
Yes.
Put it correctly to him.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam. Can I just rephrase?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Council, my lord. The council is putting this as a fact, and we know that accused number 1 has got his own legal representative. We want to know on what basis is council putting it as a fact if accused number 1 is not headlined.
My lord, the version was put by counsel for accused number 2 that he did not give directions to the witness. And that is not in conflict, my lord, with counsel for accused number 1. Can I proceed, ma'am?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, my lord. Yes, do you have any response to that? Or should I rephrase, my lord? We were at the stage wherein the court said I should rephrase because he was not
Yes,
driving.
he says there was a driver.
Yes, the fact that you failed to record directions, if there were any given by the accused.
Ngawo wanikeza uyena wasitshela ukuthi-ke noma wayesho kumshayeli ukuthi akahambe kanjani.
Okay. It is nowhere recorded in this pro forma wherein the accused indicated that you must stop here now.
My lord, on the statements where he's pointing out, that is where we stop.
La ku-statement la esekumanje kula akhomba khona ila esama khona.
And then the use of the interpreter during the interview.
There was no interpreter according to the kennel.
Yes, there was no interpreter.
Yes.
Yes. But I'm saying the use, my lord.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yes, the use of the interpreter, a sworn-in interpreter, would have given the accused an opportunity to be interpreted better of this document if it was if the interpretation was done by a sworn-in and qualified interpreter.
That's not true, my lord.
Akulona iqiniso ukuthi uma ke le form lena ecelwa utolika ke ofungisiwe ke futhi ke oseqopheleni ke lokuthi akwenze lokho ukuthi wayizoyizwa kangcono. Akulona iqiniso lelo.
You are not a sworn-in interpreter, am I correct?
That's correct.
Angiyena
also
utolika
not a-
ofungisiwe
And also not a qualified interpreter.
That's correct.
nokuthi ke qualified futhi uyiqiniso lokho.
Let's go to page 1.
And in the SAPS, are no employed qualified interpreters.
Futhi ke emaphoyiseni ke abekho otolika ke abaseqopheleni ke abasebenza khona.
But at least an independent person should have been used to do the interpretation in between, when you explain in English and the English be interpreted to the deponent.
I don't agree with you.
Angivumi ke ukuthi kwakufanele ukuthi kuthobe umuntu ke ngaphandle ke owayezokwenza ke lokho noma enze leyo msebenzi.
Let me take you to this point just to show you that the accused did not understand the interpretation you gave to him. First page. My lord, I don't know what's the number is here, but it's the last sentence of the first page wherein it says this who interpreted from, and then present in my office and nobody else. You see that sentence?
Yes.
Yeah, but what I want to draw your attention to, it's when it says, I show him my appointment certificate and his reaction is as follows. You see that one?
Yes.
Yes. What's the response there?
I confirm.
Confirming what?
That I've been shown the appointment certificate.
Oh, you were confirming?
Yes.
Oh,
Lana
it's
ke
not the-
lana ke akushoyo ukuthi ke wayesevuma ke manje ukuthi ngempela ke ngimtshengisile icertificate sami sokuthi ngiyiphoyisa
And that I'm a commissioned officer.
nokuthi ke ngiyi-officer ke commissioned.
No. Let's not mix issues in this sentence. I understand that you are the one who were showing the accused your appointment certificate, am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. So the reaction is that I confirm. Is confirming what?
I've said it.
Sengikushilo ukuthi
Confirming
yini le
that I've said.
wayevuma
That I've showed him my appointment certificate.
ukuthi wayeconfirm ukuthi noma ke evuma ukuthi icertificate sami ngisikhiphile ngamtshengisa
But this answer
wayevuma.
does not make sense.
My lord, maybe it doesn't make sense to cancel. But in isiZulu, if someone says, ngiyavuma ngibonile appointment certificate yakho, and how do I rephrase it now differently for council to understand?
If uma umuntu esho lokho ke actually ukhona ngesizulu that I confirm that I did see your appointment certificate, ngingakusho kanjani noma ngingakushintsha kanjani?
It's fine. I will argue about that. Let's leave it.
Yes.
Now, when you were at the scene, it is your evidence that you were in the company of the Metropolis. I said Metropolis, this EMD police.
Metropolis.
Metropolis, yes. Why was it necessary? Was the accused handcuffed?
Yes.
When you were driving to that area that you knew? Was the accused handcuffed?
Of the area that I knew.
Yes. Was the accused handcuffed?
I never knew that area.
Yeah, but was the accused handcuffed?
Yes, the accused was handcuffed.
Wayefakiwe ozankosi masiya kuleyo ndawo futhi ke akusona qinisa ukuthi kwakuyindawo engangiyazi.
In your experience, 30 years of experience, have you encountered any escape when a person was handcuffed and he was able to break the handcuff and escape?
Not me personally, but I've seen incidents where people have escaped in handcuffs.
Hayi ukuthi lokho kwake kwenzeka ke kumina ke kodwa sengike ngayibona ke izehlakalo la abantu beqa khona ke befakiwe ozankosi.
Okay. And you also informed this court that the Metro Police were around in the vicinity. Am I correct?
That's true, my lord.
Shiva ke nokuthi ke aba Metropolis babeseduze ke lapho.
Why in the vicinity? If they were guarding the suspect not to escape, because they were supposed to be with you.
The necessity of guarding is not only about escape.
Okay.
It's also about the safety of everybody who's involved there. That's my understanding of their presence, my lord.
Indlela ke mina ke ngikuzwisisa ngayo ukuba khona kwaboka be-Metro Police hayi ukuthi nje kuphela kubheke ukuthi umuntu uzokweqa kodwa ke nokuvikeleka kwaye wonke umuntu okhona lapho.
But the problem here, this person, the accused, alleges, as per the instruction by his counsel, that he was assaulted by the police, including this Metro Police. And the same Metro Police are in the vicinity wherein the pointing out is conducted.
And to never said,
My lord. Accused had been
Ke babe khona ke lapho ke bese
putting it to you, induce fear to the accused at that time when you were conducting the pointing out.
My comment is it didn't.
mina ke ngithi ke babe ukuba khona kwaboke lapho be-Metro Police kwakungamsabisi umsolo.
When you were finished and taking the accused back to the station, did you book him back?
That's true, my lord.
Mase ngimbuyisela ke ngaphinda ke futhi ngayombhuka ke ukuthi ke manje
And this
sengiyambuyisela.
Metro Police were still there when you booked the suspect back? When he was
cells.
taken back to the cells?
I don't know who took him back to the cells because I booked him back and placed him.
Any re-examination, Mr.
my lord,
Great, I see Mr. Ngumalo.
My lord, I don't know whether can I be granted an opportunity. I just have one question before the. I don't know what should be the. Should we continue or should I?
No, you can. Is it okay if he wants to ask your client before you ask first?
My lord, I think I should ask, start then if he wants to ask questions after me.
Is that so?
Because
Mr. Ngumalo, let's hear you. I'll go this way. He wants us to go that way.
no, it's fine.
Yes, Mr. Ngumalo?
I think. Is it the
I don't-
direction of the court that he should start or should I start?
No,
Or
as
should I
long
start?
as it's on the record that whatever you want to ask.
Colonel, you remember yesterday that I asked you about the notes, whether you did take notes during the pointing out. You said you did not take notes.
Yes.
Ngiyakhumbula ukungibuza ngama-notes izolo ngathi angizange ngiwathathe noma ngwabhala ama-notes.
Do you also confirm, Colonel, that whatever you did on that day, which is the 5th of June 2020, you were guided by the form that you were using?
That's correct.
Futhi nayo yonke into engangiyenza ngalela langa-ke ngangihola yona-ke iform le engangiyisebenzisa.
I just want to get your view, Colonel, because I see that on page 5, you still have Exhibit GG. Page 5 says the following. Just at the bottom of page 5. Okay, it says the following. Preceding notes have been compiled by me in the presence of the said person during the interview and the pointing out of the scene and or point. You see what I was reading, Colonel?
Yes.
Where are the preceding notes?
It is
That's
the form that I've completed.
Ama-notes la engikhuluma ngawo lana-ke iform lena-ke engangiyibhala.
Which form?
The very same exhibit GG.
Sikhuluma ngayo lo
It's
GG.
read to him and explained
Yeah,
to him.
it says the preceding notes. Where are the notes? It
It is this.
by the notes, is it not meant that you are
Can you
to
leave
take?
that for arguments?
Oh, okay.
Otherwise you'll be here forever. Because he says those are the notes in the form. You can argue about it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
Yes, Mr. Lorenzo.
God bless my lord. Colonel, I've got few questions that are emanating from what was examined by you, by counsel for accused number 5, and the statement that was disclosed yesterday, bearing the date of the 18th of June 2020, as well as the extract from the occurrence book.
Yes.
The first question that was asked, communication between yourself and Colonel Gininda.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes, my lord.
ngiyakhumbula ke ngibuza ngokukhuluma kwami no-Colonel Gininda.
And Colonel Gininda is, I believe, he will be the witness to come and testify and corroborate your evidence. Do you agree?
That's true, my lord.
Ukuthi ke uzoza ke uGininda abesezochasa noma ezoqinisekisa ke lokho ngokushoyo yebo uyiqinisa.
What you have discussed with Colonel Gininda was about accused number 1. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Esasikhulumisana ngakho ke no-Colonel Gininda kwakumayelana nomsolo wokuqala.
The sense of my question is, when it was communicated to you that as per the request, Colonel Gininda must have informed you that Sibia wants to make a pointing out. Am I wrong?
That's,
It's not a logic.
yes.
Ukukhulumeni kwethu ababili ke kodwa angitshela uKolonel Gininda ukuthi uSibiya ke ufisa ukuyokwenza pointing out noma ukuyokhomba.
We are deliberating about this pointing out right now because of Sibia. Sibia says, according to the state, he wanted to make a a pointing out. Is that so?
That's true.
Ukuthi ke uSibiya ke ngokusho kombuso ke wayefuna ukuthi ayokhomba.
Was it communicated to you as to how did that information reached Gininda, Colonel Gininda? How did accused number 1, Sibia, communicated that to the investigating officer Gininda? Was it that canvassed to you?
It wasn't, my lord, because he's the investigating officer. Whatever he discussed with Mr. Sibiya, it's what they discussed. I don't know about it. And it was not canvassed.
Akazange ke akhulume akusho kumina uGininda ke ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani ukuthi leyo information ifike kuyena ukuthi uSibiya ufuna uyokhomba ngoba uyena ophenye icala inkulumo yakhe ke noSibiya ke akayishongo kumina.
Sibia, I'm putting to you that Sibia is the source or the author of this deliberation at the moment, which is governed by section 2181 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Do you agree?
I agree.
Ukuthi ke manje ke uSibiya ke manje ngokusho noma ngale nkulumo ke uSibiya ke okushilo lokho noma kuphume kuyena.
If it was Sibia's intention to make a pointing out, there must be a method within which or with which Sibia could have communicated it to the investigating officer. Is that correct?
My lord, the investigating officer will be the one who can explain that.
Yes.
The method.
Ukuthi ke indlela kwenzeka kanjani ukuthi uSibiya akhulume noGininda mayelana nalodaba uyena lo Gininda ongakusho lokho.
My lord, at this moment I'm not going to buy that answer on the basis that if he can claim privilege that whatever that was discussed between him and Colonel Gininda, his privilege cannot be disclosed before this honorable court. Gininda has got his own questions to answer. I want to, because you are a party to the discussion about Sibia.
Not as to how come did Sibiya decide, what happened that Sibiya decided to give a pointing out. I was requested to take a pointing out.
All right.
Ukuthi ke uSibiya noGininda bakhulume bathini noma kwenzeke kanjani ukuthi uSibiya ayokhuluma kuGininda lokho asizange sixoxe ke noGininda ukuthi nje ngacela ukuthi angilekelele ngepointing out.
But beside that evidence, the logic dictates that if a person who is in custody,
Whose logic?
the logic,
Whose
general,
Whose logic?
I'll demonstrate that logic.
Yeah, I want to know whose.
May-
Because that we are dealing with 3 people: Sibiya, Ginanda, and
The
Colonel
logic of an
Khaled.
experienced police officer.
Yeah, so put it like that. Because
Let me
it's a
just put
logic.
it that way. It's a logic of an experienced officer like you that a person who is in custody can have certain ways to communicate with the investigating officer. One, among other things, personal communication. Do you agree?
That's incorrect.
Akusona ke iqiniso ukuthi nanjengephoyisa ke lomkantshubovu kufanele ngiyicabangeleke ukuthi kunendlela ezithize umuntu oboshiwe noma ke kuma cells angakhulumisana ke nephoyisa nokuthi babhekane ubuso ngobuso.
Let me just correct it. Let me just qualify what I put it to you so that you can correct me if I was wrong. If Colonel Gininda visited the suspect wherever he is kept, that is the personal encounter. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Uma kuwukuthi asithi ke uGininda waya la aboshwe noma avalele khona lapho ke ukukhulumisana kwabo ke bobabili bebhekene.
If at that time Sibiya intended to convey his intentions, he would have told Gininda or Colonel Gininda at that time that I want to make a confession, a pointing out. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. Hence, Gininda must come and give evidence on that.
Ukuthi ke kwenzeka kanjani ke noma kwakuyinhloso ke yakhe uSibiya ukuthi akudlulise uGininda uGininda ozoza ke azokuchaza lokho.
Thank you. Let's move on. I beg your pardon, my lord, I'm just consulting my questions here. All right, let's get into your statements. Yesterday I was given a statement bearing the date the 18th of June 2020, which is a statement that was commissioned, which was signed by you, and it has been discovered to the defense. Do you agree?
Discovered, I don't.
It was disclosed to us. We were given the copy of your statement or of your affidavit.
I agree.
Ngiyavuma ukuthi ninikwe statement sami izolo esange 18 ka June 2020.
You must correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm vivid that I'm right. You said immediately after the completion of the pointing out, on the 5th of June, you gave that form to Mr. Mukhani.
That's true.
Shilo ke ukuthi masesiqeda ke ngayo pointing out ngase ke iform lenginikeza uMukhana ngazo i5 ka June.
13 days after, you made a statement or an affidavit, if I may put it that way, an affidavit declaring what transpired on the 5th of June 2020. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Kwase kuthi ke amalanga u13 emuva kwalokho ngenza ke statement engichaza lokho kwenzeka ngalelo langa.
And it's your evidence. You correct me if I'm wrong. You did not make a copy for yourself before you left Albertine Police Station. Do you
That's
agree?
correct.
Kuyiqinisa nokuthi ngaphambi kokuthi ngihambe ke eAlbertine Police Station angizange ngizenzele icopy mina.
At that time, the contents of the pro forma were still vivid in your mind. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Ngaleso sikhathi leso ke lokho okwakuyiperforma ke kwakusekhona emqondweni wami.
What actually necessitated you to make a statement on the 18th? Did you realize that you made a mistake, or what actually necessitated you to make such a statement on the 18th?
My Lord, on all confessions and pointing outs that I have done, I've always submitted a statement.
Kona konke ke engikwenzile ke ngaphambili noma kuvula isifuba ke i-confession noma ke ukhomba ngaphambilini i-statement ngiyasenza.
Thank you. Yes, a statement is made, and at that time, you were not making a cross-reference from any document when you're making a statement.
Yes.
Is that so?
Nokuthi ke ngesikhathi ngisenza ke ayikho i-document eyayiphambi kwami ke engangithatha kuyona.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
What was read to you by counsel for accused number 4, Mr. Nguman. Paragraph 3, it related to Baloyi, who handed over Mr. Sibia to you. You still remember that?
That's correct, I remember that.
Ngiyakhumbula ke ngifundelwa ngo Sergeant Baloyi noma ke okwakwenziwa Sergeant Baloyi.
So that statement was, sorry my lord, may I just- my lord, I beg leave to ask the court to adjourn for a tea break.
Why do you understand that? I just gave you an indulgence.
Oh.
Because you cross-examined, you finished.
Yes.
He cross-examined and finished.
All right.
So please, just
I
finish.
thought maybe my lord the
No,
time
no,
is
I can sit
right.
without
I can
seeing.
proceed.
Yes,
I can. I was just asking. Let's just proceed. Mr. Baloyi handed over the suspect to you. Handed Mr. Sibia to you, according to your statement of the 18th.
But I've explained that he refused to hand him in because he did not want to sign for him.
Bese ngichazile ke ukuthi uBaloyi wanqaba ke ukuthi amdlulisele ngoba kwangena umuntu owayefuna ukuthi amsayindele.
But can we reread that paragraph? Because we are now deviating from
My
that
Lord,
paragraph.
my statement, I read it yesterday, and I explained also during my my evidence in chief about what happened on that day.
Ngisifundile ke istatement sami izolo ngase ngichaza ukuthi kwenzekani ngaleli langa. Yes.
Is it prejudicial if you can reread that paragraph? Paragraph 3 of your statement.
It is not.
Yes, please.
On front to use. At about 12 o'clock, Sergeant Baloyi from Alberton Police Station brought in a handcuffed person who identified himself as Muzigaukhulelwa Stemba Sibia.
Thank you.
Lana ke kuthi ke ngeyolesihlanu nge5 sika June 2020 ngo11:30 ngase ngifike Alberton Police Station ngase nginikeza ioffice u31 ukuthi ngiyisebenzise ngo12 uSergeant Baloyi wase Alberton wase eletha ke umlisa ke ofakwe ozankosi owayichaza ke ngokuthi uMuzika ukhulelwa Stemba Sibia.
And I'm not talking about signing. I'm talking about handing over,
Yes.
which is contrary to the evidence that you gave to me to say a police officer opened the cells for you. Did I ask you whether were you given the keys to open the cells and gain access to Sibia? You said they opened for you.
Because they
So let me
refused
just
to
put it
levy.
straight. May I
Okay.
just put it straight?
Okay.
What you told this court under that cross-examination is contrary to what you are reading from that statement.
My Lord,
Do you agree?
I do not agree.
Angivumi ke ukuthi lokhu eniqeda ukufunda lana manje kuyaphikisana nalokhu mina ke engikushilo ke lana ukuthi kwaba yibona ke abangivulela.
I'll leave it for argument. Let's get into the into the occurrence book. I think it's under GT,
Yes.
and that's where you confirmed your signature.
Yes.
Who was writing there?
The sergeant of the who was in charge of the CSC.
Lana ke owayebhala lana ke kule ncwadi ke uthi occurrence book uSergeant ke okuyena owayephethe ke lapha eCSC.
In your presence.
No.
Akabhalanga ngikhona.
You are a peace officer, mind you. Justice of peace. This statement, or whatever that is written there, is not written in your presence.
It's not a statement, it's an entry.
That entry, whatever, you may call it an entry, whatever, but it was not written in your presence.
Yes.
Lokhu okubhalwe lana akubhalwanga ngikhona.
It has not been communicated with you verbally before it was reduced into writing.
No.
Akukhulunywanga nami ngaphambi kokuthi kubhalwe phansi.
Are we not talking at cross purposes? As I understand that occurrence book, it records all the prisoners Is that so?
That's true.
It's because all the prisoners who are arrested and put incarcerated in the cells. That's what it is in the Karen's book.
That's correct, my lord.
That's it.
The relevance of the signature in
So
the,
in other words, it can't have been written in the presence of this witness.
the relevance of
No,
the
no,
signature.
let me, you can continue.
Yes, the relevance of that signature. If it was written by the officer in the CSC, what was the relevance of your signature in that?
It was to confirm that I took
Thank you.
Ukusayinda kwami ke manje uqinisekisa ke ukuthi ngathatha
prisoner.
ngasithatha isiboshwa.
You took the suspect and you endorsed or appended your signature.
That's true.
Ngamthatha ke noma ngasithatha isiboshwa ngase ngisayinda ke.
Practically, you were not supposed to, before you sign, you were not supposed to go through the contents of that entry. As a justice of peace, please be honest to this court. You have an experience of 36 years as a police officer.
Yes.
Were you not supposed to read before you append a signature?
My lord, I have already explained what was the reasons why there was in and out of that. So for me to sign for this person and go and do my job was the easiest thing to do.
Bese ngichazile ke ngaphambilini ukuthi kwakwenzekani ke ukuthi la kungafuni ukusayindela manje ke ukuthi ngisayinde nje ngimthathe ngihambe ngekhaya naye officeini kwakuyona into ilula ke ukuthi ngiyenze.
I've seen, that's the way you're running away from a question. And for the fact that you appended the signature without satisfying yourself or without reading that entry, was it a human error?
It wasn't a human error.
It wasn't a human error.
Yes, I signed for the suspect.
Kwangesiyona ke iphutha ukuthi ngisayinde ngingabhekile ngingafundile laphana mina ngangisayindela umsolwa.
The last question. The last question. It deals with when someone, because you've been asked this question by my colleagues, it relates to a situation where somebody alleges that he was assaulted, tortured, and choked. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, if this allegation is made, despite being proven in court whether it's true or not, but you can't rule the possibility of its existence, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
Ngiyavuma ukuthi uma umuntu ke ezethi insolo ke zokuthi ke ushayiwe ke ukuthi ke enkantolo izokuvuma lokho noma engakuvumi angikwazi mina ukuphikisa ngithi cha kwenzekile lokho noma akwenzekanga.
The reason why I'm asking this, if your answer was no, I was going to refer, but I'm still going to refer you to that. Mthokozi Sitwala, he gave evidence before this court.
Who's that?
Mthokozi Sitwala.
He doesn't know him. Tell him the accused number.
My lord,
I mean the witness. When did he give evidence?
May I-
Wait, he wasn't present. So tell him the circumstances.
my lord, I beg leave to address the court in this way.
Okay.
I was engaged for the purpose of a trial within a trial. So I was not privy to the previous proceedings, but I was privileged to watch the YouTube in order to follow what was happening in this court.
YouTube is not the court, sir.
No.
Please.
The information that I have.
Yeah, but it's not.
All right.
It's not information in this court.
May I rephrase the question? Your Worship? I don't want to enter into a dialogue with the court, madam. I just want to maintain the decorum.
Yeah, fine.
Say, are you aware that there was a witness who gave testimony to this court about the assault? His name is Mthokozi Sitwala. Are you aware of that?
I'm not.
Angina sir.
Yes.
You know,
Mr.
obviously we're busy with a trial within a trial. You can't really, we only confine to.
Yeah, what's the case state? This is.
To what happens in the trial within a trial. You can't really refer to what happened to the evidence in the main trial.
Right. State versus Lada. 1997. A
Court
trial within a
cases.
trial is compartmentalized.
May I withdraw my question?
Yeah, no, let's repeat the law because maybe some of us don't know it. What is discussed outside the perimeters of the trial, the real trial, has no operation inside a trial within a trial. That's why.
Conclude my
Yes, you can.
cross-examination. Court pleases.
You know what, Mr. Gomez?
My lord.
Gomez, I want to show you. Maybe you say, this lawyer, this judge is interfering. This is the occurrence book, register, okay?
Yes, my lord.
It has here number 316, prisoner. It says no injuries. Number 317, prisoner. Suspect loaded in for pointing out. Number 318, suspect taken by Lieutenant Colin Kadere. 319, exhibits handed to Sergeant Miami. 325, suspect taken from pointing out. 317. So in other words, he couldn't have written it. That's why I was remarking that. Okay.
Court pleases, my lord. Thank you very much.
Any examination, sir?
As the court pleases, my lord. Now, counsel for accused number 1 and 2 put it to that the accused, with reference to accused number 1, Mr. Sibiya, was transported from Villeria police station to Phosphorus police station, where he was assaulted, tortured, choked with a plastic bag on his face, and that after he was assaulted at Phosphorus police station, he was then taken to Alberton police station. Now, yesterday, exhibit KK, the extract of the occurrence book of Alberton police station was handed in as an exhibit. Now, counsel for accused number 4 only made reference to entry number 318 at 12:24. Can you just put the contents of entry number 317 at 317?
Yes.
Yes. And the time and the entry.
The time is 12 o'clock. Suspect handed in for pointing out by Sergeant Mohane of National Cold Cases Investigation Unit. Moses Temba Sibiya on case 636 of 10/2014, murder, Phosphorus, free from visible injuries.
Lana ke kubhalwe ku 317 isikhathi kwaku 12 ukuthi ke umsolo wase endluliselwa ke noma ke elethwa ke ukuthi ayokwenza ke pointing out uyena uSergeant Mohane we National Cold Case Investigation Unit, Moses Temba Sibiya case 636 10/2014 iqala ke lokubulala iPhosphorus, futhi ke akukho amanqaba noma ke ukulimala okubonakalayo.
Entry number 318 has already been put in record. Can you put entry 325 on record? Next page.
325 at 14:16, suspect back from pointing out Moses Temba Sibiya, SCP 1432 of 6/2020, correctly received, free from injuries.
Bese kuthi ke ngo entry u325 yena ke isikhathi u1416 umsolo wake uyabuyiswa ke manje noma uyabuya ke ukuyokhomba noma ke ku pointing out Moses Temba Sibiya SAP 14 number u3206 ka2020, futhi ke wamukelwa ke kahle akukho ukulimala.
Yes, and the last entry 326.
Suspect transferred to
The time first.
326 is 1428. Suspect transferred to Villeria SAPS, Muzi Temba Sibiya, SAP 1432, 30 of 6/2020. It's 32 of 6/2020.
Bese kuthi ke u326 yena ke isikhathi u1428 umsolo wake manje usebuyiselwa ke eVilleria kumaphoyisa akhona uMoses Themba Sibiya SAP 143206/2020.
Counsel for accused number 1 and 2, put it to you that the accused will deny that he requested the driver to take him to the entrance of forcible arrest from the police station. It was put to you that he doesn't even know that particular place. He only saw the hostel at forcible arrest. He once lived there. Your answer was, I didn't even know the points which he pointed out. Now the question is, how many points did the accused point out, accused number 1?
He pointed 2, my lord.
Lana ke umshushishi amfundela ke bekushiwo ke ummeli kaMsola waqala nowesibili izolo ke ukuthi abayengakho ke kwakuyi host ke mephendula ke ama point noma indawo ayikhomba zimbili.
And the second point, did anyone force him to point out that point?
No, my lord.
Akekho umuntu owamphoqa ukuthi akhombe.
The issue of you signing out the accused was raised with you, and you indicated that Sergeant Baloyi refused to sign out the accused.
That's true, my lord.
Ngishilo ke ukuthi uBaloyi ke wayengafunike noma kaze angavumeke ukuthi ke amsayindele umsolo.
This was also raised in cross-examination by counsel for accused number 1 and 2. Now, you mentioned that the cell wherein you found the accused was next to the client serving center. Is that correct?
That's true, my lord.
Ngishilo nokuthi nesele lesi awayekusona ke siseduze ke nala ndawo abizwa ngokuthi ke iCSC.
Now, this Sergeant Baloyi that you referred to, was he attached to the client service center, or was he responsible for the cells, prisoners in the cells?
He was in the client service center, my lord.
uBaloyi yena ke wayelapho.
Cell, or was it personnel at the client service center?
It's the personnel at the client service.
You were also asked extensively by almost all counsel regarding your experience.
That's true.
Can you tell the court, when did you become a commissioned officer?
My lord, I became a commissioned officer in 2003.
Ukuthi ke ngibeke lesi sikhundla ke salokho kubizwa ngokuthi officer ke commissioned unqale ngo-2003.
Now, except for pointings out that you made, the number of pointings out that you mentioned, did you conduct any confessions?
Yes, I've done a lot of confessions.
Ama confessions wona ke maningi ke esengiwenzile.
More or less how many?
It's more than 10, my lord.
Angaphezu kuka 10.
You also testified in cross-examination by counsel that regarding your experience that you were attached to murder and robbery in the Val range.
That's true, my lord.
Shilo nokuthi ke ngangikuyona ke kwi-murder and robbery eVal range.
For a period of about 3 years.
That's correct, my lord.
Isikhathi singangiminyaka emithathu.
While you were attached to the Val range murder and robbery, did you assist with pointings out, confessions?
I did, my lord. I drove at some point while one officer was pointing out, and I also transported prisoners who were taken in to a magistrate or a commissioned officer for confession.
Nkathi ke ngikhona ke lapho eVal range ke ngaleso sikhathi leminyaka emithathu ke ama confessions ama pointing out ngiwenzile ngesinye isikhathi ngibe umshayeli ke la umsola eyokwenza pointing out noma mhlambe ke ngithathe umsola ngimuseke ngaphambi kwemantshi.
As an interpreter,
Several times assisted.
we were asked by counsel for accused number 4 what the sitting arrangement was in the office wherein you conducted the interview with accused number 1. Your answer was you were sitting and Mr. Sibiya was on your right. No, I'm sorry, that Mr. Sibiya was on your left. You were on his right. As the table was small, you said you went through the notes on pointings out and why you were there. Can you just perhaps clarify when you say you went through the notes, what are you referring to?
That was the introduction phase. And where I asked questions and he responded by giving his full names, place, his gender, address.
Ke ngaku-right wakhe ke isa uma ngiphuma naye ke siya kulelo office lelo.
Right? Now, at the scene, okay, of the pointing out, you say there were what police?
There was only that Metropolis
About how many?
marked car. There were 2 cars.
2 cars, you said. 2 cars.
Yes,
There were
ma'am.
4, you say 2.
Yes.
Right?
Babe u4 ke bona ke lapha ke scene behamba ngeimoto ezimbili kwakuyibona nje ababe lapha.
Could Mr. Sibiya see them?
Because they were not very far, my lord, he could have seen them. Because they were in the vicinity, but not in the distance that he could not see them.
Babe
Yes.
ngekho kwekugqoke ke
And the police stage, Mr. Sibiya said to you, those are the people didn't make
Any
that
assault.
allegation.
ngaphandle la kuphaka khona imoto.
But when they followed you from the pointing space, arena,
Yes, my lord.
and accompanied you towards the police station,
Yes.
were they close to you at the back?
No, my lord.
Guarding you, where were they?
They were at the back, almost 3-4 cars in between. That distance.
Babe silandela ke uma sesibuyela khona ke police station emuva ke pointing out kodwa ke kubanga longathi ke kwangaba neimoto eziwu3 eziwu4 phakathi kwethu.
Okay. Any questions arising?
There's only one question. My lord, it relates to Mr. Colonel Khatebe.
Hello?
Sorry? Arising from the bench questions.
Yes, arising from.
It relates to the evidence that you gave to say when Mr. Sibiya was taken out of the cell, you said those Metropolis were not in the vicinity, were not in that CSC office.
I never said that.
When he was taken out of the cell,
By myself.
by yourself, was it by
I
yourself?
said when I entered the CSC,
The
there were
Metropolis were there.
Metropolis people there.
Yes,
And I made arrangement and the sergeant came to open for me.
that's correct.
And I took Mr. Sibiya.
Yes,
Those people walked out.
they walked out.
Yes.
So
Engikushoyo bantu labo baphuma.
my question is, when he was inside, before you took him out, was he in a position to see if there were EMPD officers outside, Mr. Sibiya? Was he in that position to see
That they were outside when?
next to the cell?
Yes, you could see, you can see that where he's sitting in the cell. These people are here, here's the CSC. So it's almost in one space.
Thank you.
Yes.
La awayekho
Mr. Mamala?
No questions, my lord, thank you.
Mr. Mshalala?
Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
Okay. Yeah. Colonel, thank you ever so much. I'm sure you'll be back here, maybe. I don't know.
Thank you, my lord. May I be excused?
Yes, you're.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Baloy. Is that the break now?
As a court, please, my lord, the state will call the next witness. It's Sergeant Mapakela.
What's your time now?
It's 11:33.
Okay, let's take a break for 15 minutes. Okay.
Name and surname, please, sir.
Matsovane Hendrik Mapagela.
Any objection in taking the oath?
No.
You swear that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing else but the truth. Raise your hand and say, so help me God.
So help me God.
Now, the witness is sworn in.
You may be seated if you want to say.
As a court, please, my lord, this witness is going to testify in respect of annexures GG in brackets 1.
Access GG.
Yes, GG1, the photos. You are a sergeant in the South African Police Service since 9 January 2006. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo-ke ngusajeni emaphoyiseni ukusuka nga-date-ke ngo-9 January 2006.
And is it correct that you are attached to Jamestown Local Criminal Record Center?
That's correct, my lord.
Futhi-ke ngise-Jamestown LCRC.
Since when have you been attached to the Jamestown Local Criminal Record Center?
Since 2008, August
Kusuka ngo-August-ke ka-2008
to date.
kuze kube namuhla-ke.
And in what capacity are you attached to the Jamestown Local Criminal Record Center?
I'm a sergeant, and then
So what duties do you perform?
the duties that I may perform I'm a fingerprint expert, but I'm doing photography.
Ngiwungoti-ke noma-ke uchwepheshe-ke kuma-fingerprints, kodwa-ke nokuthwebula iy'thombe nako ngiyakwenza.
On standby duty?
That's correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso-ke ukuthi ngeyi-5 zika-June 2020 ngake kwi-standby.
Just briefly tell the court in your own words what happened on the day.
Okay, on the 5th of June 2020, I was on standby in Downs area and Alberton area.
Bracken Downs.
Yeah,
Ngake kwi-standby ngale
Is there the witness who has just stood down?
that's correct, my lord.
ufakazi-ke lona oqeda ukuhla manje.
Yes.
He then said,
What time did you receive the call?
I did receive a call by 10 o'clock.
I-call lena-ke ngayithola ngo-10.
Yes.
Then he said to me that there's pointing out that he must do, but he's at Alberton SAPS.
Engitshela-ke ukuthi kune-pointing out ekufanele uyenza nokuthi-ke use-Albertine.
Yes.
Then I did find him with the,
Phakathi kuleyo room-ke unumber 31.
I introduced myself to him.
Ngazithola kuyena.
Then he said to me I must wait outside because he's still taking the statement or speaking with the suspect.
Wangicela-ke ukuthi angilinde ngaphandle ngoba wayesakhulumisana noma ethatha-ke istatement kuyena umsolo.
Then I went outside and then he said, I will call you when I'm done with the suspect.
Ngaya-ke ngaphandle wangitshela-ke ukuthi uzongibiza-ke uma eseqedile ngaye umsola.
Yes.
Then he called me. I went inside the office.
Wasengibiza-ke ngangena ngaphakathi.
Then he told me that I'm going to take the pictures of the suspect, the photos of the suspect.
Wasengitshela-ke ukuthi ngizothwebula-ke iy'thombe zakhe umsola.
We just want to show you exhibit GG1, photos 2 up to 7. What is your comment regarding those photos?
I'm the one who took the photos.
It's referred to now.
Yes.
U2-ke uyofika-ke ku-7 izona ley'thombe ebengikhuluma ngazo.
Yes, what happened thereafter?
He was speaking with the suspect and then he told me how the suspect must stand then I took the photos.
wayikhulumisana naye ke umsola wasengitshela ke ukuthi ke uzoma kanjani umsola nokuthi ke mina ke ngithobela izithombe.
After taking the photos, what happened?
After taking the photos, he said I must go outside because they gonna leave the office.
Emuva ukuthi ngiqedile ke wase nokuthi ke ngibalandeleke ngoba mina ke ngangisebenzisa eyami imoto.
Is it correct that a certain process then followed?
They went inside the car. That
Yes.
is, I do have the photos for the car. They went inside the car. There was the driver, the suspect, and the lieutenant colonel.
Bangena ke emotweni nazo ke izithombe zaleyo moto leyo kwakuumshayeli uLieutenant Colonel kanye naye umsola.
So you then took photos thereof, is that correct? You then took photos thereof
Yeah, I did.
when they were inside the car.
Yes.
Nezithombe ke zalokho kube ngaphakathi ke emotweni nazo ke.
Then a certain process then followed, is that correct?
Yes, I did follow them.
Yes, we don't need to go into detail about that.
Yeah, I did follow them, but I didn't know where they were going.
Ngabalandela ke kodwa ngangazi ukuthi baya kuphi nendawo.
Yes. What followed after that process?
Then after the process, they did come back.
Emuva kokuthi kwenzekile ke lokho base bebuya.
Came back where?
Then we went back to the Alberton SAPS. Then the same office that they were using when I found them, they used the same office so that I can take the photos of the suspect again.
Babuyela ke kulela office ababekulona ke ngaphambili kokuthi kuhanjwe ke basebenzisa lona ukuthi ngiphinde futhi ngithobele ezinye izithombe zakhe umsolo.
We want to show you photos 26 after 31.
Ku photo 31 imina ke wayithobela lezi izithombe.
Thank you, my lord. That is all.
Yes, Mr. Mgomezulu.
No questions.
No questions. Mr. Nisi.
I've got no question as well.
Mr. Malo.
I think my daughter have one question.
One question.
Yes, one question.
Photo number 10, the camera failed me there. I can't even see the kilometer reading. I did ask the Lieutenant Colonel to write them down.
Ikhamera ke lapho yangiphoxa ke lapho ku photo number 10 angiboni ke ukuthi ama
Kilometer reading.
That's correct, my lord.
By the Lieutenant Colonel, you mean Lieutenant Colonel Hadeb?
Yes.
khuluma ngaye ke uLieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Did he then write the kilometer reading anywhere?
Yes, I did. According to me, he did write them anyway. Yeah, you can ask him.
Ungabuza yena ke kodwa ngokusho kwami ke wawabhala ke lawo ma kilometer.
He did not take any notes. That is what he told the court. He did not take any notes during the pointing out. There were no notes that were made by him during this process.
For the kilometers, he did have the kilometers for starting of the pointing out and the ending of the pointing out. He has those kilometers.
Ama kilometer nawo nkathi kusukwa kuyiwa khona lapho nangenkathi kubuya unawo lawo ma kilometer lawo.
Is it also correct that at photo number 25, you cannot also read the kilometers, the kilometer reading?
Photo
Number 25.
25. Yes, sir, I did have the same problems.
Na ku photo 25 ke benginele yankinga ke efanayo ke ngokuthi ngibhale phansi ke noma ngithola ama kilometer.
Thank you, my daughter. I have no questions. Thank you.
And the counsel is already done, but it's not correct that he did not note the beginning kilometer. I think he did testify about that. He referred to on page 5 to a reading that appears on top there, kilometer reading, which is 80652. He said that is the start. That was the start kilometers.
Start there.
Yes.
Thanks. Ms. Mishana, can you pass again, again?
Thank you, my lord. As you were driving out from the police station to the scene or to where you were going to, did you see how many police vehicles were in your convoy?
No.
Angizange ngiboneke uma siphuma e-police station ukuthi bakuney'moto ey'ngaki zamaphoyisa.
Okay. In front of you, how many were in front of you? If you can recall,
Pardon, please?
how many cars were in front of you when you were going to, outside the station where you were going to?
I was just following the car that they said I must follow. Only one car. Other cars, I didn't check how many cars.
Angizibhekanga-ke ezinye imoto ukuthi zazingaki, mina ngangilandela lena imoto abangitshela ukuthi ngilandele yona. Kwakuyimoto eyodwa kuphela.
Okay. The points that you have indicated in the sketch plan, who gave you those spots? Who directed you to those spots?
On
There are
the,
spots on the sketch plan.
okay,
Sketch plan,
yes.
yes. Who gave you those spots that you have taken?
I was speaking with only Lieutenant Colonel
Only.
Rade, only.
Okay.
Mina-ke umuntu engangikhulumisana naye kuphela ukuthi ubani wangitshengisa lawo ma-points kwakuyi-Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Okay. So you only took the spots which were directed by Lieutenant Colonel.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
Any other examination?
None, thank you, my lord.
Sergeant, you are stationed, just repeat, you said you were stationed where?
Jamestown Local Criminal Record.
Ngithe ngisebenza-ke eJamestown LCRC.
Do you know Fort Lawrence?
Yes, I know First Lawrence.
Ngiyayazi i-Force
Do you know
Lawrence.
it well?
No.
Angiyazi kahle-ke.
So you don't know where Colonel Khadebe, together with Mr. Sibiya and the driver of their vehicle drove to? You don't know where they drove to when they left at the police station?
No, I didn't know.
And when you ended up, where did you end up when you took the photos?
I end up in First Lawrence.
Ukuthi babeyaphi-ke nkathi siphuma e-police station ngangazi kodwa la esagcina khona-ke la ngathobela khona ithombe kwakuse-Force Lawrence.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions arising? Questions arising?
No questions, my lord. Thank you.
No questions.
I'm not even asking him, were you speeding or not? Thank you, Sergeant.
As a court, please, my lord, the state calls the next witness is Lieutenant Colonel Mohale Solomon Rapaju.
Lieutenant Colonel Mohale Rapaju.
Mohale Solomon Rapaju is
Oh, Rapaju. Okay.
R-A-P-H-A-D-U.
Okay, thank you.
Is witness number 90 on the list. This witness is going to testify in respect of Exhibit HH. The plate is in possession of a document, the names of which correspond with those of Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi, accused number 2 in the matter. I've been informed, which appears to be a statement that falls within the ambit of Section 217 of the Criminal Procedure Act. I've been informed by counsel for accused 1 and 2 that the admissibility of this statement is being disputed on the grounds on which they would lay down before the court. We have, just with the previous documents, we have redacted the document. I will then sit down, my lord, to allow my learned friend to set out the grounds on which the admissibility of the document is being challenged.
Yes, Mr. Mgomezulu, what are the grounds for the dispute or challenge?
Court pleases, my lord. It's my instructions that there are grounds upon which is that the accused was forced to make a confession.
Was forced to make a confession.
That's correct, my lord. Was assaulted in the presence of the witness that is coming to testify.
In the presence of the Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel
Rapad.
Rapad.
That's correct, my lord. And further that the confession was not written by himself.
By whom?
It was
It wasn't written by Rapad.
It was brought. A statement was already written, so he was ordered to sign the statement. So it's my instruction that it was not made freely and voluntarily.
Is it a
As it
confession?
was
or
not-
wait. Is it a confession or a statement? I
It
know
was a statement.
Statement embraces everything.
A
Admissions, confession. But we are lawyers.
It's a
We have read
statement.
it. We have read the statement.
That's correct.
Is it a statement?
It's a statement,
Okay, fine.
yes.
So the statement was already written,
Was already written.
and
He was coerced to sign the statement
by
by
Mr.
Colonel,
Siya coerced to sign the statement
yes,
by
Colonel Rapad
Rapad. Okay.
in the presence of the police,
In the
presence of the police
presence of the police.
who assaulted him.
Okay, so it was signed inside Rapadu's office, in the presence of other police.
It was not in the office. It was at the police station in Deep Kloof.
Yeah, well, I don't know. So it was.
No. It's Morocco.
Hello.
My lord, it was at the police station, at Morocco police station.
No longer the truth.
Not Deep Kloof, I confuse it with accused number 1. my lord. I
Okay,
beg
so
your pardon.
the statement was brought into Rapadu's office,
That's correct.
or it was just in the police station,
It was in the police station.
where everybody just moves and goes about.
Yeah,
Is that so? Not in an office.
not in an office.
Okay. So this was in the police station at Moroga,
At Morocco.
and in the presence of other police.
Of other police officers.
Okay, fine, thanks.
That is all.
Thank you.
Mr. Ntanzike, ummeli wakho uthi imbangela ke yokuthi niphikiseke le statement lesi uKenneth Rapad azofakaza ngaso ingoba uthi wena ke kwalethwa nje okwakusekubhaliwe kuwena ukuthi nje awusayinde futhi ke wena ke ushaywa ekhona uKenneth Rapad lo ekuyena uzonikeza ngobufakazi ulethelwa ke le statement esesiredi kwathiwa nje signed kuphela nokuthi waphoqwa futhi uphoqwa uyena uRapad. Lokho kwenzeka ukhona amaphoyisa la ekwakuwona ayekushayile kwenzeka konke lokho epolice station yaseMoroka.
Okay, yes, Mr. Padre.
That's a good please, my lord. The state calls the witness, Lieutenant Colonel Mohali Solomon Rapad.
Yeah, because there is a dispute concerning the admissibility of the statement allegedly made by Mr. Sibia.
That's accused number 2.
Mr. Ntanzi, sorry, Ntanzi, eh?
Yes.
which statement is disputed on the basis that it was not freely and voluntarily made. Consequently, a trial within a trial is ordered to is declared to be the procedure. And as we all know, the state has the onus to prove that the statement was freely and voluntarily made. Okay. I want me to finish the recitation in his sober, sound and sober senses without any duress. Okay? Thank you.
That's a good business.
Name is language.
Don't speak English.
English. Okay. Name is
Mohali Solomon Rapad.
any objection in taking the oath?
No objection.
Do you swear that the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing else but the truth? Raise your right hand and say, so help me God.
So help me God.
The witness is Sonia.
Which language do you prefer, Kenan?
My Lord, will speak English.
English. Okay. Thank you. I'm asking because we had a problem. We don't have a paid talk. So, Rapadi is a paid again.
Tobe.
Thank you. Thanks.
No, that we don't have, my lords, not me.
Okay.
Is it correct that you are a lieutenant colonel in the South African Police and attached to Annandale Detectives?
That's correct.
Kuyiqiniswa ukuthi ngiwu-lieutenant colonel futhi ke ngisebenza kuma-detectives ase-Annandale.
In what capacity are you attached to Annandale Detectives?
As a detective commander,
Ngiwu-commander ke wawo ama-detectives.
Since when? Since when have you been attached to Annandale Detectives?
since 2018.
Ukusukela ngaye ke u-2018.
When did you join the South African Police Service?
1988, 06, 02.
1988, 06, 02 uqala kwami ke ukusebenza nanjengephoyisa.
Can you succinctly set out your career history since you joined the South African Police until now?
I passed out in June 1988 and I got stationed at Hillbrow Police Station.
Ngaphasa ke ngoJune ka1988 ngase ngiqala ke kwi-police station yase Hillbrow.
Yes.
From Hillbrow Police Station, I transferred myself to Randfontein Police Station in 1991.
Kusuka ke eHillbrow mina ke ngayihambisa mina ke noma ngayitransfera mina ke uya ke eRandfontein Police Station ngo1991.
Yes. And at Hillbrow, at which section were you attached?
I was attached to the crime prevention
eHillbrow
unit.
ngangisebenza ke ku-unit lena ke evimba ke noma inqanda ke ubulelesi i-crime prevention.
Yes. You can continue.
Then in 1993, I joined the detective service at Randfontein.
Kwase kuthi ke ngo1993 ngase ngijoina yona ke ama-detectives eRandfontein.
Yes.
1995, I was transferred to Western Vehicle Crime Unit.
Kwase kuthi ngo1995 ngase ngisuka ke kwi-crime unit ke motor vehicle crime unit eWest Rand.
Yes.
2001, I was transferred to Western Murder and Robbery.
Kwase kuthi ngo2001 ngasuka ke eWest Rand murder and robbery.
2002, I was promoted to the rank of captain.
Kwase kuthi ngo-2002 ngase ngiyapromotha-ke noma bangikhuphula ngesikhundla-ke ukuya ku-captain.
We still at West Rand murder and robbery.
That's correct.
Ngangisese-West Rand-ke murder and robbery.
Yes.
2004, I was transferred to Soweto murder and robbery.
Kwase kuthi ngo-2004 ngase ngiya-ke eSoweto murder and robbery.
Yes.
2006, the unit was nationally restructured.
Kwase kuthi ngo-2006 i-unit leyo-ke ku-nation-ke yase iyashintshwa-ke noma bayi-structure kabusha.
Are you referring to the murder and robbery unit?
That's correct.
Khuluma ngayo-ke le i-murder and robbery unit.
Yes.
2006, I was transferred to Morocco Detectives.
Kwase kuthi ngo-2006 ngase ngiya-ke kuma-detectives ase-Morocco.
The very same year of restructuring.
Ngaloyo nyaka loyo-ke ekwakushintshwa ngayo-ke izinto.
Yes.
2007, I went for DPCI, the Hawks at the provincial office.
Kwase kuthi ngo-2007-ke ngaye kule office ababiza ukuthi i-DPCI noma laba beziwa-ke ukuthi lokho okubizwa-ke ukuthi-ke ngama-heist noma-ke ukudunwa-ke kwey'moto lezi ey'hambisa imali.
Yes. Can you just for record purposes, DPCI stands for? Correct. That is
The Directorate for Priority Crimes.
Yes.
Unit.
Investigation.
Investigation, yes.
So was it 2009 or 2018 when you went back to Morocco police station? Which year was it?
18.
It was, yeah, 2009, yes. Thanks for the correction.
Police. Ngiyabonga-ke
2009.
ukuthi-ke ungilungisileke kwakungo-2009 mangibuyela eMorocco.
Yes, and in what capacity did you go back to Morocco police station?
I was still a captain.
Ngangise u-captain-ke uma ngisabuyela khona.
And to which unit at the police station?
I was the head.
I-head-ke kuma-serious violent crimes.
At detectives.
Correct.
Bona-ke abaphenyi noma abaseshi. Baze bashaya-ke u-2019.
Yes.
I got promotion the very same 2019.
Ngase ngithola-ke ukhushulelwa ngesikhundla ngo-2019.
And
Yes.
and then 2020 I was taken to Annandale police station.
Kwase kuthi-ke ngo-2020 ngathathwa-ke ngasiwa-ke e-Annandale police station.
Where I'm still the detective commander.
La engise-detective commander khona-ke.
That is 7 before this court.
Sorry, before you do that, have you given that exhibit you say you're going to use to all the councils here?
Yes,
Because I don't have it.
for reduction.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yes. Well, we did hand it up as part of the bill, but
Okay, fine.
we will make a copy
A copy,
available.
fine.
It will be exhibit HH. I just want to show it to my colleagues. Paragraph 15.1 has been redacted.
So all the councils have that document.
Yes, they do. Just want to show you exhibit HH. Do you recognize that document?
Correct?
Yebo ke le document enginikwayo ngiyayazi.
Can you go ahead and put the contents thereof on record?
That's correct.
Yes, you may proceed.
On 2020-06-19, 06-50, I was contacted by Colonel Gininda to say there is someone suspect named Bongani Sindiso Ntanzi who want to make a statement.
Ngazo ke nge 2020 06 19 isikhathi u650 ngaxhumana ke naye uKenneth Gininda ethi ke kunomuntu uBongani, sorry my lord, the witness read it as Sindiso but I see it is Sandiso. Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi officer ukwenza istatement.
Yes. And just before you proceed, can you maybe just set out the events that led to the completion of exhibit HH?
On the 18th of June, at about 2000 hours, I received a call from the now Brigadier Gininda.
Nge 18 ka June 2020 isikhathi kwaku 80 ke ebusuku ngathola ke ucingo olwabuya kuyena ke manje ke eseku uBrigadier Gininda.
He requested me to assist in obtaining a confession.
Wangicela ke ukuthi ngilekelele noma ngisize ke ekuthatheni ke istatement yake bizwa ukuthi confession.
And I agreed. my lord.
Ngase ngivuma ke.
Yes. And on the following day, on the 19th, 0650, the same brigadier contacted me after just for confirmation to say I'm still coming.
Kwase kuthi ngelanga elilandelayo ke ngazo i19 zika June 2020 isikhathi ke 10 to 7 ekseni ubrigadier loyo waphinda futhi ke wafumana nami ngocingo nje ukwenza isiqinisekiso sokuthi ngiseza yini.
Yes.
And then I arrived that morning. He was not there.
Ngafika ke ngalelo langa lelo ke wayengekho.
Where did you arrive?
At Moroka police station.
Ngafika ke e police station yase Moroka.
Yes.
I was given a room next to a crime office.
Nganikezwa ke igumbi eduze ke kwe office noma bizo ngokuthi ke i crime office.
Yes.
The accused person was brought to me.
Umswako wakhe noma umangalelwa walethwa kumina.
Yes.
He was brought by Jonathan of EMPD.
Walethwa ke uJonathan we EMPD.
Yes.
He then brought him and leave him in my office. I told him to leave the office.
Wamletha ke wase ehamba ke ngoba ngamtshela ukuthi ke akaphumeke manje eofisini.
He then closed the door.
Wasevala ke istapa.
To where he went, I could not confirm.
Ukuthi waphuma ke wahamba waya kuphi ngo lokho angeke ngiqinisekise.
Yes.
I then took out my appointment certificate where I introduced myself to the accused person.
Ngase ngikhipha ke i-certificate sami ekuyisiqinisekiso kwesibositshengisayo ke ukuthi ke impela ke somsebenzi kuyena ke ngitshengisa yena ummangalelo nomsola.
I told him that I'm justice of the peace.
Ngayichaza ke ukuthi ke ngiyi-justice of the peace.
After I've noticed that is of sober mind.
Lokho kwenzeka emuva kokuthi sengibonileke noma sengiqinisekiseleke ukuthi ke usemqondweni ngokuphelele.
Yes.
And that he mustn't be afraid
Nokuthi
of me.
angangesabi.
Yes.
I asked him the language he's using.
Ngambuza ukuthi iliphi ulimi alikhulumayo.
And he responded that he's a Zulu.
Waphendula ke wathi uwumZulu.
Yes.
I told him I'm a Pedi, but I know Zulu.
Ngamtshela ukuthi mina ngiwumpedi kodwa isiZulu ngiyasazi.
Yes. And where do you know the language from? This is Zulu.
In the early days when I arrived in Johannesburg, even my stay, for the first 10 years, I was staying by the hostel.
Nkathi umshushisi wambuza ukuthi uma uthi isiZulu yasazi usazela phike uthi ke uma ngisafika ke khona la eGoli futhi ke neminyaka nje yami yokuqala ke mangisafika ise 10 years ne.
Yes,
10 years.
10
Iminyaka
years
ewu10.
since.
Iminyaka ewu10 yami yokuqala ngisafika nje ngangihlala ehostel.
Yes.
Where this domination is by the Zulu.
Yes.
I had so many friends.
isiZulu ke akusukuthi nje ngasifundela ke khona lapho noma ke ehostel kodwa ke nala engangisebenza khona nganginabangani abaningi.
I even took further lot of statements on my investigation.
Neyitatimende eziningi ke
Who were speaking Zulu.
uma ngithi nganginabangani abaningi ke abangani abaningi babekhuluma isiZulu.
Yes. And if you say you took down lots of statements, what do you mean?
I took a lot of statements from Zulu nationals
Ngithathile neyitatimende eziningi ke kubantu abakhuluma isiZulu
Yes.
that were translated into English.
ebezithi zihunyushelwe ke kwisingisi.
Yes. Any other source for your knowledge of isiZulu?
No, I think that is all related to my work related.
Cabanga ukuthi ke kuphelele lapho nje ukwazi ke kwami ke isiZulu ke nomfuna kwami ke isiZulu ukuthi kuhlanganisa nje umsebenzi.
And for how long were you exposed in the workplace to the isiZulu language?
For my entire service, my lord.
Ukuthi ke isiZulu lesi ke ngihlangana emsebenzini ke sonke lesi sikhathi nje ngisebenza emaphoyiseni.
Yes, you can continue. You say you told him that you are Northern Sotho speaking, but you know isiZulu, and then what happened further?
And we agreed that we can continue in
Istatement leso noma ke esinjalo.
Yes.
I then warned him in terms of Section 35, Act 108 of 1996.
Ngase ngimexwayisa ke ngaye ke usection 35 ka 108 ka wakhe ka 1996.
Yes, and which law is that?
Is the constitutional law.
Lowo ke umthetho sisekelo.
Yes, and what was the extent of the warning that you gave him?
That he has the right to remain silent,
Ukuthi ke unelungelo lokuthula kangasho lutho.
and everything that he will say to me is going to be written down
Nokuthi ke konke azokusho kumina zobhalwa phansi.
and be used as evidence in the court of law
Nokuthi ke
against him.
nokuthi ke ubufakazi lobo obuzosetshenziswa ngakuyena enkantolo yamacala.
And if he doesn't have any financial background or he doesn't have any finances, the state can afford to give him one for free.
Nokuthi ke uma kuukuthi ke imali ayikho ke ukuthi ke ayifunele noma ayiqokele ummeli.
Yes.
I further warned him that he said, no, I was never assaulted.
Wathi cha angaze ngishaywe.
I further asked him whether he's been promised or he's been enticed in anyhow to make the statement to me.
Ngase ngimbuza ukuthi wathenjiswa yini noma ikhona nje indlela aheha noma ke agqugquzelwa ngayo ukuthi nje enze le statement kumina.
He said no, he was never enticed. I further asked him whether he was making it voluntarily and freely.
Wangiphendula ke wathi cha akukho nje okwenziwe ke ukuthi athenjiswe noma agqugquzelwe ukuthi asenze. Ngase ngiqhubeka ngimbuza futhi ukuthi ukusenza kwakhe le statement usenze khululekile futhi kuyinto eyiphumela kuyena.
He responded saying yes.
Waphendula ke wathi yebo.
Yes. These rights that you've just explained, the warning that you admonished, was it before or after?
Ezengikhuluma ngazo kwakungaphambilini ke kokuthi ngiqale ke ngayo ke iform lena.
Completing Exhibit HH. Now, at which point did you start completing Exhibit HH?
It was after